Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we have a Norsca versus Bretonnia, and this time I bring Bretonnia to the field with a mostly peasant build. I am bringing a number of the regiments of renown though, which is fun. You can see in the front line I do have just a line of these men-at-arms supported by a Grail Reliquary, so I'm going really cheap in this front line, just kind of expecting Marauders and maybe some large stuff that they won't really have a chance against anyways. Backing them up, I do have the Holy Wardens of Mason Tall, just to add some fire damage to my front line. In the back, I do have these Beast Slayers of Bastogne with these Defenders of the Fleur-de-Lis, so I just wanted to try them out. See how they do. They're just Knights Errant, I think, with Frenzy. And I have two men-at-arms with polearms, and there's some of these men-at-arms with longbows, and they just have a little bit more armor piercing. And there's something that Steel Faith added. They're a little bit better in melee, and they have like one more armor piercing damage. Just in case he brought mammoths, I brought these two guys. And then I brought one unit of fire arrows to fire at any regenerating stuff. I figured he wouldn't bring that much regenerating stuff, just because I did have the peasant bowmen with fire arrows. But you can see they do have one armor piercing damage on their flaming missiles, so if he did bring something like a mammoth, these guys would not be very helpful. So I kind of brought two of these guys. I do have one unit of battle pilgrims out on each side. I've got some mounted yeomen because I went so expensive in the air, and I do have of course, Damsel of Life. And then as a doom, like my favorite thing in this entire mod to bring, Leon Kerr with his little Hippogriff Doom Squad go around and just kick ass and take feathers. That's a bad joke. Anyways, so you can see here, huge Marauder army, two Spearmen out on each side, a huge amount of Marauders, some Marauder Champions as a backbone, tons of Marauder Hunters with Javelins, Ice Wolves, more Marauders Hunters with Javelins. He's got some Skin Wolves. He's got Throg up here, all barfy in the front. Some more Skin Wolves. Some more Ice Wolves. And yeah, that's going to be it for his army here. Two units of those Skin Wolves here. They are armored, which is interesting. They're the armored variant. And I think they go from 24 models to 12 because they are armored. So we'll see how they do. I do feel like they're a little bit underpowered just because their weapon, in this mod, their weapon strength doesn't go up when they lose models. So that's just far less damage. That's only 12 times 100 versus 24 times 100. So obviously the lower armored ones are meant to deal more damage, and these guys are meant to be just longer lasting. So you can see, of course, sniping Throg here with my fire arrows. He's running him away. And I'm going to bring my Hippogriffs into the back of this main line, trying to support my poor men-at-arms. And you ask why I don't charge? I have placed this Grail Reliquary very specifically to be able to hit all three of these units with this tiny radius. So if I move these guys at all, they're going to lose their benefits. So you can't afford to charge with them because that's the whole reason you brought the Grail Reliquary in the first place. So you can see them kind of throwing down the main line. I've got some Battle Pilgrims just trying to hold this up. I've got my men-at-arms longbows shooting at these javelins, trying to get them off the field because they are one of the biggest threats to my Hippogriff Doom Squad. So you can see over here, I do get my mounted yeomen into Spearmen. I don't know what I was thinking, but they do come over here, maybe just trying to hold down this flank. Maybe I was charging these Skin Wolves or something. But I'm going to bring my Knights Errant over here into the back of these Marauders. You can see over here, these guys routing. Now I'm firing at these Skin Wolves. And you can see here my Knights de Fleur-de-Lis are going to get a nice charge in the back on these Marauders. But they're definitely, I think, going to open themselves up to these Javelins. You can see these guys turning around to shoot at them as well. Going to take a lot of damage. But you can see here my Hippogriffs trying to come around and help wherever they can. You can see he's trying to bring his Ice Wolves over here to lock me down. So I'm going to bring my Beast Slayers in as well, try and lock him down in a fight that he doesn't want, because with Norsca you can't really pull out once they get you with Frostbite. You just got to commit. But I do have a lot of stuff here. I got my buffs going off. I'm dropping Sword of Corone, which is all going to be helping, and you can see my Beast Slayers do get on these Skin Wolves, which is really going to help me out, because that means they're not in this fight over here. You can see my Knights of the Fleur-de-Lis are just getting surrounded by Javs. And these night wolves are sneaking through, and they're just going to start eating my peasant bowmen for breakfast. Luckily, I've dealt with a lot of the marauders by now. I've got some pole arms in here. You can see my men-at-arms fighting for their lives. You can see over here, I think I am winning this fight. You can see he's trying to drag his stuff through. But as they drag through, they are getting just stabbed in the back by these beast slayers. They're a super cool unit. And I'm constantly dropping Earthbloods over here. You can see Throg is still taking that fire damage. There's a Fate of Buna being dropped over here. He knows how much of a threat these guys are. So you can see just slowly kind of, I don't know, trading on the side, I guess. He's still got this Marauder Spearman unit coming around. You can see I'm going to be bringing some mounted yeomen in the back to finish off the final mounted Marauder Hunters here. They're going to do a really good job here, but I probably will let them get caught by these Marauder Spearmen. Maybe I thought they were jabs. Over here you can see the men-at-arms with longbowmen are holding up decently well, actually, against these Weiss Wolves. You can see they're mismicroing some mounted yeomen that need to be coming back, and maybe doing some rear charges here would be perfect. So you can see I'm kind of cracking in the middle. I've still got my Beast Slayers. You can see my Holy Wardens are over here, definitely swinging this in my favor. And I'm coming over here with my Hippogriff squad to try and get away from the anti-large and just to get in on these things attacking my ranged contingents. Because I knew he had a lot of ranged stuff left. He still got a lot of the skin wolves. You can see over here I'm getting some nice shots into these Marauder Spearmen from a very close range. I think these guys are just reskinned crossbowmen. So their shooting arc is a little bit weird. But you can see here I do drop on this Shaman of Death. These longbowmen are going to start losing here. Where did that get dropped? It was Spirit Leech, or Fate of Buna being dropped on Leon. Probably just a misclick there, but he's going to get terrified, and that is going to end the spell. So you can see getting some nice shots on these Skin Wolves. You can see Throg almost full health again, just from regenning. Just all bloody and coming back, all angry. So yeah, look at that regen. He is terrifying. You can see over here though, just slowly pulling through these battle pilgrims, just being pulled down by spears. Now you can see he's bringing Throg in, so I'm just gonna bring all my hippogriffs to bear. And in this mod, he is not actually anti-large, so he's a little bit less scary in that department, in the monster hunting department. But he is far scarier in the regen tanking department. So he'll be really perfect against like crashing through armored infantry, kind of just like trolls are. But he'll kind of suffer in this fight with so many elite units, so many colors going off. Yeah. So, but you can see Throg is going to get surrounded, and you can see just these battle pilgrims being unbreakable is amazing. They're just like holding these spearmen down. The spearmen are actually doing very well in this fight, losing decisively. Oh, you're just gonna kick him in the face. You can see over here, even my men-at-arms have started to rout. But Throg here is going to be terrified off the battlefield with the help of the Holy Wardens, the Grail, and the Damsel of Life. Actually, something I discovered in this battle is that in this current iteration of beta, the Dwellers from Below does not work. I cast it twice, and both times it never went off. So definitely something, still a lot of stuff some kinks to be worked on. But that's why it's in beta, right? So you can see my men-at-arms here did surprisingly well. My polearms as well, my Grill, my battle pilgrims, just holding down the fort, doing what they needed to do. And you can see my mounted yeomen and my cav not doing very well, but my royal hippogriffs and King Lunan doing a great job of targeting some of these large units down, and really just helping to support that main line, routing the enemies. You can see my peasant bowmen just doing work. 2 XP chevrons here, 1 here, 121 kills, 73. Really shooting down those javelins who were a huge threat to my hippogriffs. But yeah, anyways, great game to Jack here, and there'll be some more Norsca battles here in the future. Thanks so much for watching. That's that.